Yes,
are we recording?
We are actually.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
Welcome to the Girls Garden podcast.
I'm so excited. Uno.
My name is Bree.
I'm Jor.
Khadijah.
Period. As our very first special guest.
Yeah. You can follow me on Instagram at BarBreeDoll, 3 L's.
Period. You can follow me on Instagram at Just Like Jor. You can follow us on Instagram at Girls Garden.
Yes.
Girls.garden.
2 N's.
Now we're twins. You want to plug your handles?
What's mine? It's Khadijah._sec.
Period.
Yeah. Right. So what we starting with? We're gonna start with the cards.
Yeah. So we have the Skin Deep cards, the and we have the Self Edition and the Healing Edition. So each question just has, or each card just has a question on them. You pick it and you answer it. They get deep, so I hope you're ready.
It's about to get deep. And we got some champagne. We got mimosas.
We each got a bottle, y'all.
And it's like 5 o'clock, but we got mimosas.
Period. And we have mimosas this early afternoon, literally.
Indeed. All right, who's going first?
I think guess Deanna should.
Yeah.
Me. Yeah. So this one is, I'll turn them this way so we can see which is which.
Khadijah here is also a part of the Girls Garden. So our Girls Garden, just to give you a little history,
insight,
started with a grouper that me and Jordan we've been on this journey. So we started a grouper for positive things only, because you have many groupers but they're not always so positive. You get screenshots, you get this, you get that, but you don't. We didn't have a grouper with just positive vibes only. So we started that, and it was like 25 girls, right? So Khadijah's in the grouper, and yeah, snaps. Alright,
period. So
I get to pick a card. I can pick any card.
Yeah. So this is Self and this is Healing. I set them up so we can see which is which.
Self and Healing. Self.
Period. Some of the cards might not make sense because some of the cards went with each other, and I didn't know that before I shuffled the cards. So
what is the most ambitious vision for this? For what?
That's one of the cards. It probably goes with something else. And I shuffled them.
Pick another one? Yeah, pick another one.
You know we're recording. Get off the motorcycle.
What's the hardest thing I didn't do?
That's for yourself.
Oh, it's for, so I gotta answer.
So answer it yourself. And we can also go around, honestly.
What's the hardest thing I didn't do? Like yet?
Maybe, maybe there was something that you could have or felt like you should have done but didn't do, and it was hard for you to not do that thing. I'm trying to think.
Let me think too. The hardest thing I didn't do. Or don't do.
That's too.
The hardest thing I don't do.
Yeah,
like within anything, your life, relationships, being like relationship wise, lovers, friends, anything. Okay, the hardest thing I don't do is, I don't know if this makes sense, but damn, I'm trying to think. It's hard to come up with something right away. Right?
Yeah. That's why I like podcasts though, because I feel like they don't edit podcasts that very much, so it's like really authentic. Really real.
The hardest thing I didn't do or don't do that you wish you can do. Okay, I wish I was more like, how can I say this? So for instance, I'm very patient. I wish I was less patient for like myself, I guess, because like it's taken as a disadvantage for me for when other people, like, how can I say this? The only best way I can explain it is giving an example. Like for instance, like me waiting on someone that I know that they're always gonna think, oh, Khadijah's gonna wait for like, even like ride or friends or whatever the situation is, and I'm like, okay, but it's like, okay, Khadijah's gonna wait until she doesn't wait, but I tend to always wait. So I wish I wasn't that patient with people that I know that is like taking advantage of me. With having like a good heart, being a good person. Yeah, that kind of ties into that.
I wish I had patience. I say every day I need patience. I just said it the other day when I was driving. I was like, I want to go around this person so bad because I'm so impatient, but I have nowhere to go. Like, I had no real destination to get to for real. I just wanted them out of my way.
It's so weird because I feel like in my older adult years now, I don't have patience. Like at work,
I'd be like, oh my gosh, I just talked over this person, and I didn't mean to talk over them, but like, I don't know, it was the thought was in my head, so I
gotta get it out.
Like,
I gotta get it out.
I think that's what it is. It's not that I'm not patient, but when something's in my head, I'm gonna say it, even if you're talking, and that's very
it
bad.
just comes out. Yeah,
I'm trying to work on that. Like, I'm really trying to work on that,
because then it comes across as, like I just did, it comes across as you're not listening to them or you're being rude or something like that, when really it's not that. I'm just eager to say what I do.
Yes, because if I don't say it, I'm gonna forget it.
Yes. That's I learned that too, like with my best friend. Like when I speak to her, like I had to ask her, I was like, I hope you don't ever think like I'm trying, like I'm being rude or I'm not listening to you. I am. It's just I don't mean to cut you off. It's just I'll forget if I don't say it, or like you said something that I just need to get, like I need to like just get it out and react to what you're saying. If not, by the time you finish your whole 5 minutes of talking, I'm gonna be like, bypass that. And like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Another thing that I do that I think a lot of people actually find rude that I didn't realize is like when they're talking about themselves, and I use a situation that I've been through to sort of relate.
Yeah.
And people, a lot of people don't like that. I put that on Twitter one time, and it actually got a lot of comments, but it got a decent number of comments. And people were like, "Yeah, I hate when people do this," and I'm like, "I'm
you know
so
why?
sorry."
They think like you know, people are like, okay, some people look at it as, oh, you're being self-centered. Like, no, it's not that.
I'm just trying to show you that I relate. Like, I really do understand what you're saying.
But they're like, some people can't. Luckily, my friend, like when I do that to her, she's like, when I spoke to her about it, she was like, oh no, like I know you, like I know you don't mean nothing by it, clearly, but with anybody else, it was someone random. I'm talking to them like, okay, this girl is rude. Like, why she keep cutting me off type vibes? But it's not even.
And I get it. I do that a lot too. I just like, oh well, I understand because I went like, and I need to stop doing that. But I also feel like it depends. Like it's times where you can relate.
You can and you can, or you should and you shouldn't. Like, and even when I posted that on Twitter, I texted my friend, and I was like, I hope you don't mind that I do this. And she was like, no, like you're fine. Like I get it. Yeah. So some people get it and some people don't. I don't mind when people do it to me, honestly. I prefer it because I hate when people like, I understand what you're going through and you really, really don't.
Right.
But like when you show me that you actually really understand what I'm going through.
Because 9 times out of 10 when you relate or you give that example or share your experience, half the time you'd be like, oh yeah, because then they like click to it, at least most of the times when that happens.
And you kind of want to talk to somebody that have been through the similar situations than you, or had experience with that, because if you're talking to somebody that didn't, it's kind of like they not gonna, you gotta think about it like you don't understand.
Yeah,
right, like you ain't never been through it, you don't understand.
And then my glasses are like shades and there's no sun over here.
It's okay, it's okay. All right, that's the fill in your own question. Let's go do this. Okay, what do you think is the source of my joy?
We're supposed to answer it.
So we're supposed to answer it for her. So like, what do we think is the source of her joy? The source of your joy, at least right now, I would definitely say for Brie, I think the source of her joy is the how do I word this? I would say like the future, like what's to come. Like we're like she said earlier, we're both on this journey, and I think everything for Brie right now is about evolution and it's about growing. So I think, because I say that, I say, here I go trying to relate to people.
No,
again.
You could do it.
I say it all the time, like as nervous as healing makes me, I'm very excited for what's to come.
Right.
Like I'm excited. Even when I was doing my fasting journey, I was very excited for what I was going to learn and for what I was going to feel and what I was going to experience. So I would definitely say that I think right now growth is the source of your joy.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, but I also was thinking like peace. Like you knowing that you're finding your peace and you're like acknowledging it and you're like trying to like basically find your peace so that you can be happy, and like knowing that you are like adapting to that situation in whatever the case is for you at the time or whatever the source is. But it's like that, just I think it's just that, like the ongoing future, the evolution and all that.
I would also say family for Brie. Family is something.
Yeah, that's definitely, because you're always happy, like, oh, my cousins, like your friends, like they.
My family is like, because it's so many of us, and so like my cousins is like, especially my girl cousins, like it's like sisters. It's really like a sistership. Like it's like
sistership, best
friends. Like it's everything in one, but you know this is your blood, so it's just a different feeling. But to go off of what y'all was saying about like my peace and everything journey like that, it's so crazy because you could constantly say, oh, I want to heal, I want to heal, I want to heal, but you are not healing until you literally feel it. Like, I literally feel it. Like, feel it. It's like, I feel like I was put in this position where I had no other choice but to heal. Like, it's like, for so long I feel like I prolonged it, even though I was saying, oh yeah, I want to heal, but I wasn't doing nothing to actually heal. So I feel like now that's where I'm at. Now you coming face to face with her. And I feel like face it now. That's why the people around me can feel that, because once you're really doing it, the people around you can feel it, because it's gonna translate. You're gonna know if somebody like, oh, I want to heal, but they ain't really doing nothing to heal. You're gonna be like, girl, not even judging, but you're gonna be like, I hit you when you for real, right? Because healing, that it takes different. Like, it's really different. It's hard. It's hard. You feel isolated constantly. Like, you feel like don't nobody get you, and it's an up and down roller coaster. One day you're just good, and the day is great, then the next day you like low. Literally, I could go from a 10 out of 10 day next day to like a 2. And sometimes
you're in the same day, right? Not the next day, same day, hours. That's crazy. It definitely be. You be fine, and then you be like, damn, why are you making me so mad for this? No, for real. And you learn your triggers. It's a lot.
Learning my triggers is kind of fun for me, though. Yeah. Learning my triggers is kind of fun for me. That was like one of my first. I think that was like my first real sign. Like, okay, I'm actually on this journey. Like,
it's like you're learning yourself.
We're in it. Like, I'm in the roller coaster seat, and the thing is strapped on, and the people are like 1, 2, 3, let's go. Like, it's like once you get on, you can't get off. You can't get off. Like, you can't get off. So that learning my triggers, like my first time learning an actual trigger for me was like my real like indicator. Like, okay, we really in this 2 minute. Right. Yeah. Let's see. Right. What was that? Healing. I'll do a healing. I guess. What's the tagline?
A what?
Like a slogan. If you could make a tagline for our relationship, I want to pick it up.
Yeah. Hashtag. No, let me see.
No, it sounds like probably.
They love giving me questions like this.
Let me see.
What is one emotion I should practice more of, and why?
Go
ahead.
What emotion you should practice more?
Let me think. I think you're doing better with it though, and it might be because you're on your journey. But expressing yourself more, I would say. Like, yes, up front to people. Like, don't hold it in. Like, if somebody do something, don't hold it in and wait and wait and wait. Or hold it in, and then when you're around them the next time, like, I don't even want to be around these people. That's so like, I think you're doing way better with that.
It makes me so happy.
I really do. I think you're you acknowledge what's upsetting you, and you speak on it, and you tackle it. And that's very important, because if you don't, you're gonna be holding it in, and then it's not even about them, it's you too. Like, then I know me, if I don't say something to the person, I'll be in my head like, why didn't I say this? Like,
literally.
So I think you're doing way better with that.
Thank God.
Yeah, I agree.
One of my like, for the past like 2 years, my New Year's resolution will always be more honest, open, and vocal, and like intentional with what I say to people, because it's not, like you said, I can't hold that all in, because it's gonna take a toll on me at the end of the day. It's not really gonna be about them, it's gonna take a toll on me.
I feel like for you, like, okay, so it's like a room, right? And before you started your healing journey, not that you are life, period, but before you started your healing journey, if like, let's say for example somebody made you upset and it's a room, like, your presence wasn't known that somebody made you, like, your light, like, we didn't know. Now where you're at, like, I know, like, you're just more present. I don't know, I can't explain it. Like, you're just definitely like, more present. Like,
for me, like when I first met Jordan, I was like, oh, Jordan's so, like, she's an extrovert, she's so, like, you know, dandy and nice. But then once I like got around you and you start speaking and stuff, you're like, I was never like that. Like, you're just like, yes, I'm an extrovert, but no, you don't really know me. But then when I like became coming around more, I'm like, okay, I see what you mean by like you're making it more known, because you can see it from like your facial expressions, your emotions. Like, you'll become more silent, like, you know, and probably before you just like carry on or something, I don't know, but now it's like, I don't know, I can realize it heard,
like,
or you'll be like, no, I don't like that.
Don't be silent. If you're upset in that moment, it upsets you, speak on it. I know that's hard, and for me, I just speak too much. So you need a little bit of me, and I need a little bit of you.
That was one of the cards we had before.
Yeah.
No offense, but yes.
She said can't front. She felt that. A lot.
No, but it's a good thing. It's a good trait. It's not bad. But sometimes it's just overpowering. Sometimes, like, damn. Sometimes you don't want to get in an argument with Brie because you start something. You be like, not even an argument, a controversy. I want to say, like, you know, be like disagreement. You be like, damn.
Where was I when you guys were having the conversation at Carell's house? I was walking Gabby out, and Taylor came to open the door for me. And she was like, come on, they're still going. We gotta make it back upstairs. I said, I just know Bree standing up right now yelling. I just know she said she sure is. I said, I knew it. We walked in with Bree.
I don't like that. Right. I want to work on that, but I'm passionate about it.
Yes, Bree is
I'm very passionate. Like, people would take it as, oh, she yelling, she being defensive. I'm not. I'm passionate. When I'm passionate about something, I'm going to talk hard, you're going to hear it.
It just comes off.
But it comes off like that, Bree. Because you be like too like, it's no such thing as being too passionate, but at the same time, it's like, damn,
for some people, like, for some, like, who don't understand it, it's a lot. That's all.
That's literally.
But, like,
I feel like you need to be that way. If you, not all the time, like, you can calm it down, but I feel like the greatest leaders are passionate about what they stand for and what they believe in. Like,
Malcolm X said, if you don't stand for anything, you're gonna fall. Wait, what is it? You don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything.
And I just don't take well to it. I'm a mother's child.
I think it's just the way you express it.
I'm a mother's child. My mother don't take well to ignorance. I don't take well to ignorance. If it's ignorant to me, I'm gonna let you know it's ignorant.
I can't stand ignorance. And people, for me, it's one thing to be ignorant and then be okay with accepting different, like, mindsets and different views and stuff like that. But it's a whole different thing to be ignorant and be okay with standing in your ignorance. Like, if I'm giving you a whole new perspective, you should be open to a new perspective, but, like, it's okay to be open to a new perspective. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I can't stand.
I'm working on it though, guys. But
that's good.
It's me though. It's like, it's something like, I don't know.
It's like you're a person that you can't get into something with unless you know you. If like, for instance, like, granted, if a stranger came up to you and they're not used to how like you speak and how you express yourself, like you're being so passionate in a controversy argument or like just a topic or anything, I think like they'll be like, depending, like, it's an individual thing, depending on the person, like they might not take it how we would take it, because like at this point we're like, yeah, it's just Bree being Bree. But like, even like when we at work and like when situations happen, we talking about something and then you like, wait, no, wait, and then you like you like, no, wait, and I'm like, here go Bree. But not in a bad way. It's just like, damn, like now this conversation is not gonna get across, like be done, like end until Bree gets her point across and you understand. If you don't understand that, then she's gonna make sure you understand by ending the argument.
Bree's
and if once she realizes,
Bree's also a very tough love type of person, and I think that if you aren't on a certain friend level or a certain relationship level with Bree, you're not gonna understand that, and you might fall out with her. Honestly, you might, no funny, like you might fall out with her because you're not gonna understand that she's not trying to be me. Like, okay, I don't want to name names. Remember we were at Barracudas in the bathroom, and you were like, "Are you gonna listen to me or no? Because if you're not gonna listen, I'm walking out." Like, if she would have said that to anybody else, like they probably would have been like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to be giving me advice right now. Why are you doing this? Bree was like, if you're not gonna listen to me, I'm leaving. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and keep talking because you're not gonna listen to me. Right. And it made her shut up. It did. It made the girl shut up and listen. But if you don't understand that about Bree, then you're not gonna like it.
I'm very straightforward. Yes. I get it from my mother. My mother's very.
I think I'm that. Oh, TT is. Ooh,
yo, I ain't seen nothing when it comes to my mother.
TT is the sharpest knife in the drawer. Okay.
You think I'm bad? Let me tell you. Go speak to my mother. She make you feel like. But it's not. It's
so needed. It's so needed. If you are sensitive, do not go talk to TT.
But I feel like you need those people in your life. You need gentle people. You need harsh people.
You need that balance.
All of that. You need a balance.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not coming up. I'm just passionate about what I'm passionate about. But I am working on, like, calming down a little bit. Even though that's me, I don't want to change that about myself because that's me. Then I would be not being myself.
I would say don't change that about yourself, and don't shrink it, but also just gauge who you're talking to, type of thing. You know what I mean? Because like I had to do that when it comes to like giving advice type of thing. I had to ask, like, now I ask people, like, are you looking for a listening ear or are you actually looking for advice? Because if you're looking for advice, I'm gonna give it to you. I don't know if you're going to appreciate what I say, but I'm gonna tell you how I feel. But if some people are just really just looking for a listening ear, like they just want somebody to listen and they just want to vent because they might not have that. So I have to ask people, like, are you looking for advice and are you looking for somebody to listen? And some people say, like, I just want you to listen. That's all. And I'm like, all right, cool. Go ahead. Talk.
I need to start saying that, because I feel like people come to me to hear my words, to hear what I'm going to say. A lot of the times, like, people come to me for advice. And I love that. That's not something I don't love. I have to sometimes, with myself, be like, I got to, you know, balance that. People can't always come to me because I be going through my own stuff. Then it becomes too much.
Yeah.
But I feel like people come to me to hear what I'm going to say, because they know I'm going to give them some type of advice on what they should do or whatever. But let's pick another card.
Okay.
Yeah. What's something I've done that you don't think you could, and why?
That's kind of hard for me to answer.
Yeah, that sounds like.
For
you might be able to
me,
answer.
I feel I just like Khadijah. She's one of my favorite people, yeah. But I love how this girl, like, she just go for it. Like, for example, she's like pre-med, like she wants to be a doctor. Like, I love that. I can't do it. For me, I feel like I'd be like, I'm probably gonna be a PA and I'm gonna stop there, a physician assistant. I ain't doing that. But like, I think that's so beautiful that, like, at your age and everything like that, like, you could go for something so big. Like, it's different for like black women. Like, we don't, there's black doctors, but like, that's huge for me. So I feel like you're very brave. That's a good way to put it. You're very brave.
We're by a train, guys.
Sorry. And you're such a gentle soul, like a real gentle soul. My mother was like, I love Khadijah, and if my mother
Everybody
loves
loves
somebody, that's how you know. Like, I
Literally
really love
everybody
her.
loves Khadijah.
Like, when I met Khadijah, I'm like, yeah, that's my little sis, and we gonna be sisters, and that's it. And she just sometimes make me mad because she's too nice.
One of the first times I met Khadijah,
She's too nice, and
she was in a bar by herself.
All right, don't make it sound like that, because that sounds real bad. Like,
Because
I was in a bar that I knew
or something. This was like the second or third time I had seen Khadijah. I think it was like the second.
Yeah,
maybe second or third. And she was like,
she
"Yeah, my
won.
friends you're huh?"
What was that? What was years? Yeah, I don't remember.
Khadijah is a sweetheart. Like, her heart is so, like, I think I'm nice. She's 10 times nicer than me. 10 times.
Too nice. That's why when we were talking about the other car and I was like, can't front, that would be my, like,
Something.
whatever the question was. I forgot, but
Imagine.
She's super nice, but you need those type of, you need it. You need somebody that's super nice.
It's like a disadvantage to me, though.
What I'm gonna tell you is you need to set boundaries. I had to set boundaries.
Yeah,
I don't know how. I didn't know how to, but I had to start. I'm still working on learning how to. But you need to set boundaries, because if not, people are gonna
run over you.
Not
even
you need
run,
you
stomp,
also
kick.
to relate to what Jordan had to work on. You also need to start being intentional and telling people when they hurt your feelings.
Yes.
Telling people what upset you. You don't do that.
That's like even today when we was in the kitchen,
I was like,
and I was like, no.
Yeah.
It's just gonna start argument. I didn't want. I was like,
You
we
don't
like
confrontation.
I don't like
Yeah,
confrontation
but that's
either.
just dumb.
I don't like confrontation either, but what I had to realize was, like, what am I willing to risk more? Like, am I willing to risk my feelings for this confrontation? Like, you know what I'm
then later you're gonna be all upset and be like, damn, I should just have that conversation.
Like, I should've
and
just
now it's
talked
just
about
prolonging and it's just getting worse. And then you're
Yeah.
like, damn, okay. Now you're like, damn, I should have just brought it up. And then when you do bring it up, whoever you're bringing it up to, I'm like, oh, why didn't you bring it up before? You're gonna be like,
yeah,
because I was trying to avoid this. But it's like it's you know what it is for me. It's not. For me, I learned that it's not just conversation, it's just learning how to communicate with people that knows how to communicate. For some people, it's hard for them, like, to actually sit down and talk to you, like, have any conversation. Like, they can't sit here and communicate. Now they're yelling and screaming, this and that, they're not yet arguing. Or whoever it is, like, family, friends, your lover, whoever, your spouse, and you sit there, you can't have if you cannot communicate with me, I'm not going to sit here and try to have a conversation with you if I know you're going to be mad. Because now it's like, okay, I have to prepare myself to just be mad at the end of the conversation because you're not listening to me, or you're not, like, you're letting your emotions overcome what I'm saying, or, like, you know, it's just overpower. You know what I mean?
I feel like
it's hard.
It is definitely hard, but I feel like for those people though, if you need to take a step back after that.
Yeah.
If I'm coming to you and I'm trying to communicate well with you and you're not communicating, okay, let me take a step back. So then you realize, oh God, like, why is she not talking to me? Then maybe we can have a conversation when you're more rational. But until then, and you cannot not say how you feel because you're afraid of how they're gonna react. No, you should still be able to say how you feel, and if those people cannot communicate properly with you, then those are not the people you need to be around. And you need to rethink your circle. And I go for family, friends, whoever.
Relationships,
Because
anything.
sometimes we really we don't we like, oh, this is family.
Yeah, no.
That family
It don't
message
matter.
mean nothing.
If they can't respect you like they should, they have to go too.
Yeah.
Because when you get into this journey, when you get into this process of becoming a better woman, you got to get rid of everything that's holding you back, hindering you. People, places, and things. Period.
Absolutely.
So,
Her.
yes,
It's
ma'am.
my turn. Should we do healing or should we do stuff?
Which one did you pick last time?
I did healing.
I'm gonna pick a book.
What word do I say too often? What does that say about
That's
me?
a really good question, but I don't know. I gotta think about that one.
Now I was like, damn, you said.
What word do you? I don't know. But that's
I
hard.
don't know. What did I
Wait,
say?
hold on, I gotta think. All right, well, if that's what you want to do. Like,
I'm crying.
Don't make me sound crazy.
That's what you.
I don't. That's not a word.
That's like a phrase. I can only think of like a phrase.
I don't know. I don't know what word.
You're like, you know what? Like, I don't know. Like, I can't think of a
Want me to
word.
pick another one?
That's a word. I can only think of a
That
phrase.
is a good
That was a good question.
question, but whatever. Okay, how have I grown most in the last year?
Okay, period. I like that question. How has Bree grown most in the last year? Boundary setting and upholding them. Because I think that it's possible. I don't know. Not that I don't know too much, but I think that it's possible for Bree to have had set boundaries with certain people, but not really upheld them and respected them herself.
Yeah.
And one thing that I say all the time is like, you can't expect somebody else to respect your boundaries if you don't respect your boundaries.
That's true.
That like it's just not gonna work like that. You can't tell somebody like, hey, don't say this about me because it hurts my feelings, but you say that about you talk negatively about yourself all the time.
Right.
You feel me? Like that, it just doesn't work like that. So I think that's something that Bree has definitely worked on, and has grown within.
The upholding part is
Yeah.
because you are always had boundaries. It's just you didn't upheld them for certain people. I should say. I don't want to say you didn't, because you did. If you really don't like something, you gonna fall for it. But like I said, it comes hand in hand with the being too nice or overthinking. Like, oh, but they'll come around or something like that, or having the benefit of the doubt. That's what I want to say. But that's literally what it is. And you're still like from your growing
still
and
learning because boundaries are hard.
Boundaries are so hard, especially
Boundaries
when
are
it's
hard.
people that you really, really love and stuff like that, or that you really feel deeply for. Setting those boundaries is difficult with people, but
It really is.
you have to.
You got to
Because it's gonna hurt you in the long run. It was a card that went with something else. Another card that goes with something else. What's the one most impactful thing I could do right now to change my reality / situation? That's heavy.
Right, I don't know.
Okay, let me pick from this side if I can get
Okay, I feel like you're doing what you can do. What
Yeah.
you're supposed to be doing right now.
Thanks. Oh, we had this one last time. State my personal philosophy in one sentence. Like one thing that I like live by.
Oh, in one sentence? I don't know. One thing you live by. This is hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I have one. I do have one that I try
Yeah, you
to
answer
live
this.
by.
Yeah.
Because how am I, like, I know what you go for and live by, but like, you answer this.
Sorry,
you
there's a
answer
bug in my
what
cup.
you live by.
One thing that I live by right now. Oh my gosh, this fly won't leave my cup alone. Okay,
Am I the only one drinking?
no, babe. This is number 2 of our new bottles.
Oh, we each got a bottle.
That made it sound like
Y'all want to cheers the bottle?
period. Excuse our napkins.
Yeah, excuse the ghetto-ness.
Cheers to Girls Garden.
Yeah.
One thing that I really live by right now, especially, is stay true to yourself. Don't taint who you are to benefit others. Don't
Y'all
shrink.
just told me to do that. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Don't shrink yourself. One of my favorite like quotes right now is don't shrink yourself to try to fit into places that you've outgrown. Yeah, so very much stay true to who you are. because it's really easy to stoop to other people's level when they really make you angry. Like, oh, she did this, I'm gonna be pettier and I'm gonna do this
because I know that'd be what I want to do.
You feel me? It's so easy to do that, but you gotta really sit back and think, like, what is that gonna do for me at the end of the day? How is that gonna benefit me? She posted this about me, and if I post this and this, what is that gonna do? It's gonna expire in 24 hours. Ain't nobody gonna see it again unless they screenshotted it, and I'm not gonna feel any better at the end of the day, really, because I'm still gonna be upset about it. So don't, because at the end of the day, your blessing's gonna come. Your cup is gonna runneth over,
and it's so hard to do that. Well, I know for me.
Yeah, it's very hard to be the bigger person.
That was like yesterday. Like me and Khadijah, we were like in a car, and we were at a liquor store outside, and this girl, she don't know me, but she know of me, but she was just staring. So you know me, my first thing is like,
I thought she knew you. That's the way she was looking. I was like,
and it's just like, you really be tried when you're trying to change. That's when you really are tried the most.
I feel like that is when you are tried the most.
Yes. So I'm like, Khadijah, I'm like, I changed, Khadijah. I changed. Khadijah.
She was like, why she in my car? I said, Bree. She was like, no, like, I don't understand. Like, she was all over the car. I was like, maybe because your car is like tinted out black. So in my head, I'm like, oh, we're like, maybe she thought it was like niggas in here or something. But I'm like, the window was down enough. You knew it was a females in the car. So I'm like,
and dear me, ready to like.
And then when she come out, she's staring again. I was like, Brie, you know her? I was like, maybe she thinks she know you. She's like, no, I don't know her. And I was like, yeah.
She know of me, but and like at that moment I was like, but I was like, hold on. I calmed down. I was like, I changed.
Old Brie would have been like, rolled the window.
I would have said hi.
Yeah, that's hard.
Like, but like I was like, oh my god, like that's really like growth, because the old me would have been like, even though it was so small, it's still like, what? Like,
I've had a situation like that where I had to sit back and take a back seat. Do you remember? It was around Mother's Day. I won't name names. I'm gonna try so hard not to name names, y'all. Like that's hard for me. But the TikTok I sent you, that what's his face posted, and it was a sound that really hurt my feelings. That TikTok really hurt my feelings really bad. Like really bad.
I just gotta do this.
And so I like, it was a TikTok sound that to me it felt like it was being funny. I never brought it up to them to see if like that's really what they meant, but like to me that's what they meant. So it really hurt my feelings. So I made a video to the same TikTok sound. It's sitting in my drive still, and I was gonna post me a nice little video with the same TikTok sound to be funny, but I was like, you know what, that's not even gonna do nothing for me.
Yeah,
because they probably not even gonna see it because they don't follow me. So it's a 1 in a million chance for it to pop up on their For You page. Like, it's not gonna do anything for me. So I ended up not making the TikTok. I had to sit back and take a back seat. Ooh, butterfly.
really?
Yes, it was like one of the little orange and black ones. I love butterflies, if y'all couldn't tell. Anyway, yeah, so I had to really sit back and take a back seat. So that's a really difficult thing to do. Very difficult thing to do.
It's so difficult to be the bigger person.
Swear.
When you want revenge, but you gotta choose peace.
Woo. Choosing peace is not as easy as people make it.
It's not easy.
It's
because if somebody do something to me, I'll be ready to do something to them. Like, right? I'm just that. Like, I really learned to not be that person, but it's hard.
Speaking of things that's hard, okay, before we pick another question, if we keep going with the cards,
we don't have to keep going. We can just talk.
Just talk. So like, one problem that I have in my life right now is trying. How do I explain this? So like how we said, like me expressing how I feel more. I want to do that, but I also insert, like in this one situation that I'm thinking of, I want to do it, but I don't want to be too hard. But I feel like, remember how I was talking about like being cuffed to comfort? Shout out Pastor Michael Todd. I feel as though this person is very much cuffed to comfort, and they're so comfortable in.
Explain what that is.
That's what I was about to say. What I was like, what do you mean? What's cuffed to comfort? I don't know what that is.
Pastor Michael Todd from Transformation Church, and I want to say, what's Tulsa? That's Oklahoma, Tulsa.
Yeah, I think
Tulsa.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that sounds. The Tulsa massacre.
Oh, okay.
The Tulsa riots and stuff like that. She said something.
Yeah, I remember something like that.
Yeah, so
what y'all doing?
I had some of yours.
I'm crying.
This cup is yours.
I was wondering why.
And I was gonna touch Khadijah's
next. You was definitely.
And I was gonna touch Khadijah's.
So we drinking yours last?
Yeah, I guess, because mine is really tart.
Yeah, so you can have some of this one.
Okay, I'll have some next. But anyway, yeah, so basically being, so he has this season, like this series called Cuffing Season, and basically he talks about things that we're cuffed to, in a sense, that are hindering our growth and are hindering our relationship with God, because I've been on this journey as well as healing, as coming, like, you know, becoming like closer to God. And so one of his episodes is called Cuffed to Comfort, and he talks about how we're cuffed to things, or so tied strongly to things that make us comfortable, because we're so afraid to step outside of our comfort zone and be uncomfortable, when really you need uncomfortability to grow. And so this person, this person in my life, I think, is very much cuffed to comfort. Like, they're so okay with being in their brokenness and in their trauma that they can't even fathom being successful or being happy. And so what they do is they make every situation negative. It drives me insane, bro. Like, I used to work with somebody like that, and I had to say, Helen, why are you doing this? Like, it drives me insane. Helen's not the person in my life. That was just somebody that I worked with.
No, yeah, that's absolutely true.
So like, right now what I'm trying to figure out is, how do I try to get them out of their comfortability without being too like, girl, get it, you feel me? Like, it's hard, because I don't want to
try all you want, but they gotta want it for themselves. Because see, people go through, so everybody got a story, everybody go through things, everybody, you know, are trying to heal from things. Some are trying to heal. People get so, like you said, people get so comfortable in their trauma that that's all they know, and then until they want to fix it for themselves, they're going to continue to stay there. So you could want that for them, and you could try to be that for them, but at some point I got to let you just fall. Because it's like, now you're draining me, and once you start to drain me, that's when I got it. Now everything is cut off, because you're draining me. So
my carrying capacity.
Exactly.
Come on, Sarah Jakes.
If you're on your journey and you can't, I'm sorry, you can't take that on, because they gotta want that for themselves. It's like, all right, you have a sad story, so does the next person. But what you gonna do about your sad story? You gonna live in the sad story, or you gonna take that to be a testimony and grow from that? Because if you want to just stay there, then you gotta stay there yourself, because I'm not staying in mine. Because then I'm never gonna grow.
Because I already got too much to unpack for myself, babe.
You got all this negativity. If you want to be surrounded by all this negativity, you ain't never gonna see nothing positive. Like, never. And God, or whoever you believe in, your higher power, ain't gonna want to give you that either, because for what? You ain't doing nothing with it. You still gonna be soaking and being negative.
Me and my mom talked about it too for a second, and she said a lot of people are scared of success, because like I said, they can't really picture that for themselves, because maybe they never felt it, but like, they're just scared of success. So like, anything going good for them, it's like they sabotage it. You have to be sure.
You know what?
You can't train another day.
You know what I was thinking? I was like, people are just some people are just too comfortable where they're at. Like, remember how we were just talking about moving and stuff? And I was like, I'm comfortable being in like Connecticut. Like, I'm comfortable where I stay. Like, if I move anywhere, I'm down to move and explore. I travel, but I need to stay what I'm used to. I'm around. I want, for living wise, I should say. For living, I want to still live where it's like close proximity to stores and stuff. I can't live like in the forest, like in the woods, like, you know.
I think it's okay to be comfortable with something like that, because it's not hindering. It's not hindering you. It's not stopping you from growing.
But there's some, so there's the reason why I say like people are comfortable with that. There's some people that I know, like, they're comfortable being like in a bad situation that they're in, like for instance, whether it's living, financial, school, work, whatever it is, but they're just comfortable where they're at. And I'm like, but they're comfortable where they're at, or they're too scared for change. I don't know what's the right like phrase to say it, but they're scared to move on.
Stagnant.
Yeah, they're literally, it's that they're stagnant where they are, and they talk about, or they speak on like, oh, I want to do this, or I'm gonna do this and that, and they do no movements, and they just sit there. That is what I don't understand. Like, why, if you're it's like you're comfortable where you are, but you don't want to stay where you are, but you don't want to make movements. But why?
And
like,
that's
I don't
why,
understand
to a certain extent, that's why when I give my advice, I'm like, I'm nice about it, because I've been through stuff and I be sad. Sometimes I stood there for a little bit. But that's why when I give my advice, I'm so firm with it, because it's like, are you just telling me this because you want somebody else to hear your sad story, or are you telling me this because you actually about to do something about it? Because at this point, if you want, I already know your story. So if you want to keep telling me your same sad story, but you're not telling me nothing that you did to fix it, I don't want to hear it after a while, because you are comfortable staying where you're at. And that's exactly why people get stagnant. People get so comfortable in their trauma. Like, even down to like relationship wise, you might meet a guy that he has the potential, he's great, he's this, that, and the third, but he has so much trauma and he's so there. Like, he can't even come out of that trauma because he's just so there. So then when you come around and your type of love is so different for him, because he's not used to that type of that type of love. Like,
you gotta be okay.
I experienced that too, and until you realize that,
literally, you gotta be okay. You said being uncomfortable.
People are not okay with being uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable. It sucks, but you have to be okay with being uncomfortable.
The way I see like the whole uncomfortability with growth type of thing, when you're going through puberty and you have like literal growing pains in your legs, like that's because, I mean, the way I take it is you're getting taller, like you're getting bigger, like it's an uncomfortable pain, but you know you're growing into something different, you're growing into somebody different. So it's the same thing. Like, that's sort of like an analogy type of thing. Like, it's the same exact thing. And like you said, with relationships with guys or even girls, depending on your upbringing, whatever. I think a lot of us are stuck in survival mode. A lot of people are stuck in survival mode and don't really know how to turn that off, because from like a little kid, we have to learn how to get it on your own, or love on your own, or anything like that. Like, we're teaching ourselves how to love, or we're seeing different versions of love that aren't really what it's all cracked up to be. And a lot of people just aren't okay with learning like different perspectives of things, because like I said, they're not okay with being uncomfortable, which sucks. But it
sucks. And sometimes it sucks when you're growing and the people that you love, you want to go with you, but they're not. But you gotta, that's when you just gotta be like, you know what, I love you, but where I'm going, you either gonna make that change or you're not. And if not, I still love you. I still love you from a distance. I just love you from a distance.
You know that TikTok sounds the type of shit you watch from a distance.
Literally.
All right, y'all, so we ran out a little bit of space on the SD card, but today was a little free trial, a little test run, you feel me, to see how everything goes. So I hope y'all enjoyed this first part. We'll definitely finish and continue the convo, because it was a great convo.
It was great.
I love it here
for episode 2. And I love that episode 1 was a little, like, you know,
a little
testy, it showed you the real deal.
A little toe in the water type vibe.
It's not toe in the water. Tune in for episode number 2. We never know who's gonna be here. Period. Might be back. Somebody else might be here.
It might just be us.
We never know. And let us know what y'all want us to talk about. Yeah.
Period. Bye.
Bye.